happening. What I wanted to chat about, and I'll just cut straight to the point, is I know we spoke about it the day of the appointment, and we were all in the office for hours and all that. But
Mm.
how interested would you be in the undersheriff position in all reality, and how ready would you be to take that?
I feel like I would be ready for it. It's just I don't know how much I will be around. You know what I mean? Like come
Hmm.
a a month from now, is it like one thing about me is I'm okay with letting go of a position, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't really care all that much. And if I feel like I am not going to put enough effort into it or enough time into it, and I notice that, then I just don't do it.
I mean,
We tried.
with your activity levels now, I don't see an issue at all. You don't think that would remain? You're like,
No, I think my activity levels now is the same. Like it's going to be the same, if not a little bit more on duty.
there's no perfect choice in this situation. There's going to be people that are unhappy with it one way or the other, whether it's people in the department, people in politics, people in the DOJ and the LSPD. I can't keep concerning myself with all of that all the time. But I remember our
Yeah.
conversation, and your attitude in all of it was by far the most positive. And you even said that it's not your preference, and you definitely have your own reservations and grudges, I would say, or whatever, however you want to put it, with the mayor and how things were handled before, the appointment and all that. But at the same time, you tried to work with him, and you were open to that, saying like, I approached him, I
I'm
said
still
I would.
open.
Right, right. Which honestly, that uh, that's why I'm approaching you about this, because you also see it, and I hope you understand. I'm not sitting here on
Yeah.
my hands and knees kissing anybody's ass, either of the mayors at all, and I haven't.
No.
And I don't expect that, but I do expect us to be able to at least have, like, dialogue and conversation when it has to
Yeah.
happen, and not have it devolve into the grudge matches that it has. And again, I'm not putting that on anybody in the past. There was a different situation, and I wasn't in that situation, so I get why
Hmm.
things happen the way they did.
I do think that uh for Undersheriff, I kind of had three people in mind, right? And with myself included, it would be myself, Ventura, or Alice.
All of you are on this list, and honestly, that's pretty much who I have left as well on my short list. I had a couple other names. I'm not, I'll tell you
Yeah.
another day maybe or something. But at this point, that's, and I've weighed those decisions pretty heavily. I think Ventura would make a great undersheriff. The issue is we would not be allowed to operate whatsoever in Los Santos County after that. I guarantee it. Would
Mm, a
immediately
100%.
cause another grudge match with the BCSO, and
Yeah.
it's a shame that someone who's such a great leader and who really is deserving of the position has to be a victim of politics. But I think Kiwi understands that it's not the best thing for the department for us to not be able to go into the city and have that all begin again.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Um,
already had the thought of just only banning Ventura from going down south, and the whole relationship thing is a huge other
mhm.
thing, but you know what? We deal with that
And
when it happens.
yeah, I don't want to hold Nino's dislike or anger towards Ventura
Yeah.
against him, because I don't think that's fair. But at the same time, like I said, if he understands it, even, and he's even cautioned me that, hey, if it's me, it's going to be a shit show with the city. Um,
Yeah.
Also, looking at shift one, I don't know if we can really afford another command member off of shift one. That's going to have to become somewhat of an all-around shift member. You know what I mean? That I need him in shift one for the continuity as well. We just lost a lieutenant and a sergeant.
Long term, are you going to be around as much? Or are you going to go back to late shift too? Yeah, I think kind of just going crackhead for now, but probably going to be shift one, kind of shift two, maybe going
Mm-hmm.
half and half. You have me, who is after storm until like later shift two, or I'll just do only later shift two because shift two is like my thing. You have Ventura, who is shift zero, kind of in a sense, where he's shift one and two. You have Alice, who is 2 to 3, like kind of like she is the definition of shift zero. Like she's 1, 2, and 3. She
Mm-hmm.
kind of depends on when she falls asleep. Ventura LT shift one, because that is his shift. He's the vibe of
Mm-hmm.
the shift. Like he's the one that deals with it.
Yep.
I need to ask Alice on what's happening because I've seen her more around now than I have in shift three. I feel like she would be a really good LT for shift two. That's kind of my thought process. Those are the most level-headed and can deal with things that are coming at them.
Yeah, I agree. They're all of them are they have my trust, and I feel like it's vice versa, right? They trust me that I'm not going to come and make the place a shit show as well. And they've all the
Yeah.
folks we just mentioned have worked with me the most to try and make the department and keep the department on the rails, even in the face of what's going on. Especially Cassidy. Like Leon's taken that captain position in such grace. He really doesn't have to be happy about it or come here and keep that positive attitude that he
Yeah.
has and kept the culture going. And he does every day anyway. And it shows how much he cares. Um,
Bones will come around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to give him
Yeah.
time to do his thing. I
He's
respect
gonna
that a
come
lot.
around.
I know. I know. Look, after his speech, I thought to myself, if I was in his position, I need some time, and I would. So
Yeah.
I totally get it, and you know, I don't plan on changing anything for him or his career. You know what I mean? I didn't make any decisions on it in the first place, so
Even though Helen's not around right now, she really does like helping with academies, and she's going to be around for the academy. She's not here for the interviews, but like she also helped handpick these people too. Um, so with that, uh, yeah, I essentially with PNT since Declan, hasn't been around. Everyone's still like advisory, right? They still have an input if they want to have an input. But Helen and Bruce, since the last academy, because they stepped up, have kind of been like my go-to people on dealing with things, which is really good because they're shift 1 and 2, which is kind of like everything. So
this is another reason I really think that you'd be the right choice at this point for the position. You have such a pulse on the department across all the shifts and culturally the people in it. You know them on personal levels. I mean, so do I, right? But I've not been in command before this. You've been command this entire time, or most of
yeah,
it, right? Majority of it, and you've been here since the beginning, and that's important. Um, if we talk about Fridays, I know Max looking at going up. Oh, what I wanted to ask you opinion.
mm,
Obviously, Hayes to senior, but we
yeah.
we have two command members, right? Someone's gonna have to go up to lieutenant, and that means we're gonna have what, one sergeant after Ventura does that. Do we even have a sergeant left after him? Because
Um,
Jimbo is still sergeant. So we have
right.
Jimbo, actually, and
I'm
if
gonna be
that
so
means,
real.
hmm,
Probably might not like it, but it is good for the department. Um, Bruce probably give him some time, but
hmm,
he is another person that I thought like we all make mistakes, but he is our legal person. He does a lot for the department. He's now helping with PNT. He is the person that people go to for like anything teaching court stuff, you know.
yeah,
He
100%.
is going to be going towards shift 1 again soon. Just because he had to do shift 2 for a little bit, but yeah, definitely him. Um,
Yeah. So what I was thinking about is, do we want to try and make two people seniors on Friday for shift one? Bruce is already a senior, so we've got that. And
yeah.
if he goes up to sergeant, then we'll still have a gap for senior and maybe even another sergeant, right? So that would, if we go back to three on the shift, I don't know. We'll have to talk to Ventura about that and figure out what's going on there as well.
Honestly, Hayes and Anita. Now I'm thinking
I
it's
was just
shift
about to
1.
ask
Hayes and
about Anita.
Anita.
Yep.
Um,
Do we want to get Anita up to senior tomorrow with Hayes? That's my next question. Actually, that's what I was trying to get to. I guess.
yes, they were
Okay.
people that I was gonna bring up before Bones got. Uh, you took Sheriff.
Yeah.
Another person. Again, I know Bean just went to deputy. Uh, they probably want to be deputy for a while. This is gonna be a little bit of a loop, a little chuck of a loop, which I don't know if I want him above Nakota and Bean, but it could be funny. Is Quangle. He does some dumb shit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I,
but he does know his stuff. If you ask him, he knows it.
yeah. And for example, when there's one of these calls like we had the other day with a bunch of swap vehicles, and we're really trying to catch this suspect. And the suspect gets in the swap vehicle, and I see 5 out of 10 officers on scene with their thumb up their ass. The other 4 are busy, and then I watch Quingle come in from the sky and not even
Yeah.
think about it, and he's not afraid to do his job. I respect that a lot about him.
Yeah. No, same. Shift 2, I feel like, is perfectly fine right now.
Yeah, and between the two of us, we'll have a lot of insight and input on that because we'll both be around for parts of it, or if not the majority of it. So yeah, Melo's a rock star too. He I know he's busy right now with a lot of stuff, but as soon as he feels like he could take on more responsibility, I'd love to give it to him. I honestly want to consider him for probably the BCSO tier T lead overall. I don't really know anybody who's more active right now as far as that goes, but we can talk about it.
What does Bobby want?
So tomorrow's Friday. I'd like to get Hayes and Anita up to senior, like we talked about. I think we should just do it both at the same time tomorrow. Mac up to full deputy for sure. That's a big one. He deserves it. He's gone. He's been around a lot.
Oh, is that why I've been? I thought it was happening today.
No. Because it's Fridays,
Oh,
and,
okay.
If you think that you're ready, and it sounds like you are, you said you are, and if you're willing, then I'll announce it tomorrow as well that you're the undersheriff for the BCSO.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. As long as that's the position you're going to take. I can't force it on anybody, but I think that you're the one for it. I've sat here for a week and a half now and chewed my fingernails down to the bone and was sweating back here, well, not here at MRPD because I lost the office right away, but leaving.
Why you know something?
What?
Wait, keep going. Sorry, I'm a yapper. Sorry, go.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, having it's a lot like a ship, right? Yeah, I can be the captain of the ship to steer it, but I can't be awake 24/7. I can't always do all this stuff, and I'm not saying I'm overwhelmed, but I really need someone I can trust that has an attitude like yours that's positive, that remains positive even in the face of this political bullshit. That can still, even if Pred comes in here on a bad day and starts telling us all that he wants the fucking department to fail and we all suck, that we will just disengage from it and keep the department under control as best we can, right? If it comes down to it, it does. And you fit all that, you fit all those roles, and I think that the department would be really, really happy to see you in that position. A lot of people here respect you, they look up to you, and let's face it, they love you. And why wouldn't we have somebody in that position that can help me lead?
Wow. Oh my God! Wait! Wow! Yippee!
Yeah, I'm really excited to work with you. I'm really excited to work together.
Thank God, because I was about to give you a schedule on what you need to do next week to make sure things are moving forward.
Well, you can still give me the schedule.
We'll talk about it now.
Okay. I still need that help, and I'm going to need help